There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Erin's Book Club. I unfortunately had a bit of an incident at work yesterday that has left me a little, how do I put this, slow on the movement scale. Um, so I'm kind of down and out today. But the positive side of that is I actually got a book read. Now, this is a book I read eons ago, and I remembered that I liked it, but I didn't remember how well I liked it. And I found out that I adored it. So this is Dragon Rider's Dawn by Anne McCaffrey, and it's actually like 4 books in one. And it's about, I guess it's a science fiction young adult novel. But I read it years ago, and it's amazing because I remember bits and pieces of it, and going back and starting from the beginning, the hints that Anne has put throughout the book to instigate the main villain of the book, I can see easier now because I know what the signs are. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to say that this is not going to be spoiler free. So if you would like a non-spoiled book, read the book and come back to me. But anyway, I just wanted to say I enjoyed the book immensely. Anne put a lot of work into the realness of it. You start off on a spaceship of colonists who want to colonize a world that is way far away from what our Earth was and way far away from what our politics and everything else was. It's hoping to be left alone to deal with this new world. And they get there, and they flourish for the first 8 years, and she's done a lot of research into the bioengineering and the genetics and everything that they would take from our world and change it so that it would live in this like Pern type world. And she's done it so realistically that you're following around with the characters and you're actually believing what's going on. And then what happens is a alien, I guess, life form of some sort starts raining down on the planet, and it destroys anything carbon based. And then the journey through having to fight that, and what they actually end up doing is creating dragons, fire breathing dragons, from the small native dragons that are on the planet, like they call fire lizards. And my explanation just does no justice. She just does so well in researching first space travel and the different types of space travel, and then the bioengineering and the genetics, and then all of the terraforming and what you would need to do with all the terraforming. And then she gets into like the colonies and the people themselves, and there's a couple psychopaths in the colony path, like in the colony group, and she describes how they feel and the way they interact with the other people exactly as a psychopath would. There is also a like I don't want to say a sexual content, but it is. She interweaves into that, not necessarily like sex, but bonding and pair mating and the passions that belong into that. And it's not just sex, but it's intermingled so well that it's not even an erotica. Like it's so much like real life and what the study of the human race would be like in a different planet, and how we would be able to start over, even though you're going to bring some of the people who have that greed and everything else in with you in the colony, and how are you going to deal with it. And the way she brought that out and made that a study of human nature, just it's such a well written book. And I actually may have in fact already ordered the second the second book in the series before I finish this book, which, that's kind of scary because I'm trying to save money. But like I couldn't put this book down, and I'm so excited about the next book. And she breaks it up into different books that, like, you get your first main story and then you get all these offshoots because of the main story, but she's then discovered and explained all these offshoots in other novels in like part of the series that's in the book. Just, I have no real good words to describe it. Her world building is amazing. There's a bunch of main characters that you can easily follow through without getting lost, and it's realistic as to, like, there's plagues and viruses and what you have to do to survive, and just such a good book. And if any of you guys are into science fiction, if any of you guys are even into space travel, the Dragon Riders of Pern, it just, again, lovely cover, Beautiful, beautiful book, well written. Again, I even finished the book and then went off and did something else so that I could think of a way to describe how much I like it, and I don't have the words for it. Character growth through everything, even the characters that are not the deepest. There's a character growth, and their villains you just want to. The villains, you hate the villains. She does such a good job, just out of all of it. No words. Like one of the best books I've read this year, and I can't wait to get to the next one. Let me read just the back for the Dragon Riders, Dragon's Dawn, because I'm not going to read for all the books, but this will give you a gist. The 6,000 colonists came to Pern hoping to build a civilization unspoiled by industrial development and interstellar wars that ravaged the other planets of humankind. And for the first 8 years, it seemed like their pastoral dream had become a reality. Then disaster struck. Deadly spores like silver threads fall from the sky, an alien life form that mindlessly devours everything organic that it touches. It quickly becomes clear that the colony's resources could not support a long-term fight against the menace. The thread was predicted to fall for 50 years. Then someone noticed small, empathetic flying lizards that inhabited their new world were joining in with the fight against thread, searing the spores with their fiery breath. And so, for their future defense, they set up the most talented geneticists to work breeding creatures big enough for humans to ride, capable of destroying thread before it reaches the ground. Dragons. Just a very good book. Every nuance is covered, and again, no words. I just absolutely adore this book. Thanks very much, guys, and I will let you know when I have another book read.